going up right now. And yeah, we're live on YouTube. All right. Christian, if you want to toss it to me here, that's fine. That's great. Alec, how was I first introduced to golf? My dad introduced me to golf. My dad was really big into baseball and golf when I was growing up. He saw me watching Tiger Woods play in, I think it was a Masters back in the day. And I was in my diapers at the time, and I was trying to replicate a golf swing. And he saw that I was trying to make these movements, and he immediately thought to himself, okay, like, the kid's standing, the kid's trying to make some golf swings. Like, let's get him a club in his hand. So I started with a little plastic club. We lived in this little community where there was like just a little yard, was right out front, not our front yard, but like a little park. And I would just hit these plastic balls left and right, like you see those kids on IG now. You're just taking these full swings, hitting the ball. And hand-eye coordination has always been pretty. I guess I was just kind of born with some decent hand-eye coordination. I got into baseball and golf, and I played both all the way through high school, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the competitive aspect of golf, and being an only child, I could kind of get out there on the golf course, make some friends, and it was kind of like I loved just practicing and being out there playing. So that's kind of how I got into it. And yeah, I think just watching these great young golfers and watching Tiger Woods emerge. I'm 35, so I got to see him through his amateur days into his early pro days, and he changed the game. Really did. Cool. Thanks for joining in, y'all. We got a few on IG. Hey, what's up? Tim, how you doing, man? Tim Walsh, one of my students coming out of Nashville, came down to visit me for a weekend, him and his wife, awesome people. Got to play some golf. Tim had a really good round at my home course at the time. It was Shadow Glen. Shout out if you all know Shadow Glen or played there. Tim, you're on the course right now, or let me know, or shoot me a chat here. Let me know if you want to jump on, and we can, double team this thing. You'll be on the course. We can kind of see where you're at. Get your view from being on the grounds of the actual golf tournament. That's pretty great. What about Tiger? So what was it about Tiger that ignited my passion for the sport? It was just refreshing to see, before Tiger, it was just, it was a lot of older people. Golf wasn't as heavily pushed in the media, just in the way that Tiger's changed it. It's just everywhere. And it was really cool seeing a younger guy getting out there and just blasting a golf ball and playing at such a high level. At the time growing up, there were a lot of sports to play. I dabbled a little bit in soccer, and I played a lot of baseball, like I said. Played a little bit of football, but golf was always something that I just gravitated to. It was something about watching him just kind of overpower a golf course and watch. I love watching the pro golfers when they get in the zone or get in the moment or right before they hit the shot. Yeah, it's good seeing their swing and all, but I'm really interested in how they get into the process, because Tiger talks a lot about getting into the zone. The zone is something that a lot of amateur golfers try to tap into. It's something that a lot of even pro golfers try to figure out how to do all the time. And it's hard to get into that mentality. So seeing a guy at the peak of his confidence and playing level just literally zone out and hit a golf shot from 300 yards or 280, wherever he was, to about 2 feet. It was really cool. And I never saw it as something that would be terribly hard to achieve, but I saw it as a goal to try to get out there and play at a level like that. So yeah, I think just watching Tiger just dominate, seeing a fresh face out there was something that just got me more and more involved in it. Some JM, just starting out with a nice easy par. The first hole, though, if you've been watching over the weekend, I've seen some highlights. A lot of people have been they were stuffing that pin. Someone threw it in. I'm not sure who it was. If anyone wants to comment, let me know. Someone dunked it yesterday, I think. Austin, what's up, man? You playing today? You just watching some golf? All right, Tim, I'll give you 15 minutes. Tim Walsh, one of my students from Nashville, is out there at the tournament site. He's going to be on our on course reporter because he just told me he was out there. So just last minute. Russell Henley getting his snack in already after the first hole. So how many old golfers, when you golf, um, how many of y'all golfers actually focus on eating or snacking or getting your energy in the golf course? I know Rory talked about it. Tiger used to talk about how bad he used to eat, just eating hot dogs and all that all day, and how he'd crash a lot. And a lot of times when we're out there playing, we might say, "Oh, I had a great front nine," or "I had a great first few holes," and all of a sudden, and we start thinking, "Okay, maybe it was technique." But a lot of times, I feel like it could just be your energy level, and feel more nervous sometimes on the back nine. Maybe we get excited and we start playing and playing. We stop thinking about drinking, staying hydrated, eating snacks. We need to keep our energy levels very, very leveled. We don't want our body craving something so much that when we put sugar in our body or insert carbs, we start, getting these levels peaking. So Roy talks about eating every 2 or 3 holes, I think. Coach, what's up, Coach? Score Zone Golf coming out here. You can comment on that too. I think you probably know a lot about that, but just making sure your body's always level when you're playing is really important, especially out here in Texas where it's 103 degrees. It's we got to keep drinking all the time. Hopefully, it's water. Let's see. Audio TV is getting picked up. Okay, so I lowered my volume down. Let me know if you can still hear me. I'll just bump it up just a smidge. Yeah, Alec, nutrition plays a crucial role in an athlete's performance for sure. Do you ever try Cliff Bars? How do you like them? Yeah, I love Cliff Bars, honestly. I'm between. I like how Cliff Bars give you that natural sugar. It's got a lot of really good ingredients. I like sometimes. Okay, my favorite Cliff Bar, probably the white chocolate macadamia nut bars. Those are my favorite. Macadamia nuts all day. I don't know what it is. But that's my go-to. The mint chocolate chip one too. Ice cream flavor, Cliff Bar flavor. That's all you need. Love the Cliff Bars. They are marketed as a really good energy source for long workouts for sure. Yeah, Cliff Bars are great. Definitely I'll try to keep 4. If I'm playing around 18-hole round of golf, I'll try to get 2 and 9 and keep my energy levels going. Drink a lot of water. I've been drinking liquid IVs in the morning to try to get my electrolytes back up. Because we're out there, especially as golf instructors, we're usually out there in the heat for about 6 to 8 hours a day. If we're not playing with our students, we're out there on the range. If you don't have shade, it's rough. So imagine when you're out there as a typical amateur golfer, not really conditioned for this stuff. Maybe you're working indoors all the time, then you get one weekend out to play with the boys or your friends, and it's 4 or 5 hours in the heat right now in the summer. So make sure you stay well hydrated and nutritious. Bo Hosler, I got to see him hit live once when I was at UT practicing. What a swing. He's changed his swing a little bit. He was working with the coach out of UT. I think he's still with Dana Dahlquist now. If anyone can comment and let me know if that is still his coach. But I think he goes out to LA, works with Dana. He's been striking the ball really well. Yeah, let me know. Okay. It's about time. I'm going to bring in. Okay, we're going to go with Munchies and Mulligans is going to come on here for a quick 15. I'm going to bring in Just Did It right after. So let's bring in Matt.
Yo,
what's up, Matt?
How's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sweet. Awesome.
Nice. Okay.
How you doing, dude?
Hear me too. Pretty good, man. Just wheeling and dealing all over the world. How about you?
I like the hat. I like the Malvon hat.
I know this one. Honestly, there wasn't too many, and I got stuck in New York on my way back from Dublin, so I went and stopped at the store in Soho and checked it out. And they had this hat, so yeah, it's really small. Nice. It's like a tiny little locker, but it's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, I was out in LA a couple months ago. I think it was about a couple months ago, where I worked with Ron Del Barrio, George Gankis, and I stopped by their store. They just reopened their store in Melrose, and it's super cool. Really nice, really good vibe. A lot of stuff there.
I know. They were just like, I happened to be like, the only hat I brought was my other Malvin hat, so I walked in and I looked like, super fan because I had my hat on.
Yeah.
Oh, are you drinking? Yeah. Can I crack a beer?
Hey, I mean, it's just a golden liquid. in a
Oh, good, good. Yeah, I'll have my own
wine
golden
glass.
liquid. No
Yeah,
sponsors,
cool.
it's covered.
Well, Millions might have a sponsor out there for us next. We'll see.
Right on.
But
Hey, what are you
cool.
watching
So
this on? Is this on the Golf Channel?
yeah, it's on Golf Channel Live right now. I got my Hulu up on my other monitor here. I got
Because it's
the
about to
volume
switch
down
over,
on.
right?
Yeah, I think it's about to switch over. Probably the next. I think it's gonna switch over soon. Yeah,
I got to remember
looks
my
like maybe. No,
Hulu
actually, they got
password.
40 minutes or so left on it. Matt,
Okay.
so we met.
Honestly,
How'd you find me
yeah.
again? Was it just through online? You were looking for a golf coach, or I forgot. Did we run into each other first?
Dude, so some of my friends used to live up by Shadow Glen, and
Okay,
I took them out to the driving range. They were like just starting to play golf. I was like, let's go out there, and you had a table set up. And so I was like, oh,
right.
this looks nice. You were like in the middle of a lesson, so I was like, I'm just gonna take a picture and see. And then I
Okay,
started following you on Instagram, and I was like, oh,
gotcha.
okay, right on, right on. And then I saw that, and then I heard that you were doing other golf gaming people. I really had no idea until after I talked to you, and it was like
Right on.
Touche, Lily, and I was like, okay, this guy seems all right. And then honestly, I've just been so busy this year, and I've already made the decision. Me and you probably won't get back on the lessons till I get back from the Ryder Cup because I'm basically going to be like 3.5 weeks away from golf, and so might as well just
Yeah,
start after, especially when it's a little
yeah.
cooler out.
No, I think that makes sense. That's cool, man. That's gonna be so much fun going out there for the Ryder Cup, or at least getting to watch
Dude,
that.
I cannot wait. My dad is so excited. He's never been before. He
Okay.
works in golf, like he's a golf writer, and he's never had the chance to go. And I'm like, dude, I
Wait, your
got in the
dad's a golf
lottery.
writer? I had no
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
cool.
I'm not big on nepotism. I try to like pave my own path, and maybe
Sure, sure,
if I'm
sure.
like really proud of the content I eventually release, then maybe he'll hook me
Yeah.
up. But I was like, don't worry about it, man. No, he writes for he owns and writes for Avid Golfer magazine. They're based out of Dallas.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you've heard them, but they
Gotcha.
do stuff in the Hill
Yeah.
Country. They're out in Atlanta. But he's
Cool.
been doing a golf radio show on the Ticket in Dallas for like 27 years. So
No
it's pretty
way.
wild.
All right.
Yeah.
So is that how you
Yeah,
got
it's
your
called the
is
T
that
Box.
how you get the bug to start doing some stuff on your own this way as well? I mean, you're a creative
On
at heart, so
Yeah. Not real like he never pressured me into golf and like growing up, we he would take me out and I just never took it seriously. It was always just fun to me, like really fun. And then
yeah.
I took like a long break and from probably like 21 to 30, I hardly ever played. And then my buddy came in
Gotcha.
town, my friend Jeff, and he's like self taught and he's a grinder and he's like a 3.5 handicap. And so he was just like, dude, I'm taking you out. We're going to play golf. And I hadn't played in forever. And I ended up playing awesome because I had zero bad habits, like not a
Hey,
care in the world.
right.
He still remembers it. I got out of the sand like 7 times that day perfectly, like some of the best sand shots I've ever hit in my life. And then I just got the bug again, and golf got kind of popular. And then I was like, you know what, it's time to get back on the horse and get after it.
Mm. That's cool. When you mentioned something about like not really having expectations or not a care in the world, and you played like you actually had fun, you played well. Alec
Yeah,
just asked here in the chat, how do you balance the mental and physical aspects of the game, especially during high pressure tournaments? So you've played in a number of golf gaming club events.
oh
Golf
yeah,
Gaming Club based out of LA, I believe, correct? So they have a lot of their events
yeah.
out in California. They bring
Mm-hmm.
together a lot of influencers, athletes, just people in actually all walks of life, really, that just enjoy
Yeah,
golf, correct? Okay, cool. So
yeah,
you
yeah,
play in
for
their tournament.
sure.
In one of your
Yeah,
recent
they
tournaments,
are.
how did you deal with that high pressure, situation?
So one thing that's kind of awesome about the golf gaming club is that there's people that are full on scratch golfers all the way to people that are 30 handicap, basically.
Gotcha.
So one of the best things about it is they do scrambles and they try to match people up like across skill levels. They do captain's drafts. They really mix it up to make it fun. It's more about having fun than anything, but people do get competitive. Like the people that are really good, like Mac Boucher's in it, and Touche is very competitive. There's some people that really want to win it all the time,
Yes.
but for the most
Yeah.
part, it's really just like squatting up and having good vibes. And but when you're close, the pressure's on, man. I still haven't figured out how to deal with it. I'm still one of those people that my form and everything. I love it on the driving range, and then when I get on the course, it's like my feet don't know how to work anymore. So it's tough, but we're still learning. And you know me, I'm
Yeah.
still
Well,
flip
dude,
flopping
you
between
went
left or
from
right handed.
exactly. You went from lefty to righty. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's tough to make the decision when you're ambidextrous and you're pretty much at the like somewhat same level, or you just feel more comfortable doing one or the other. Like I know we first
Yeah, dude.
thought right-handed was the best, and then we were like, actually, honestly, maybe lefty could be the way to go. You get more power lefty, so that's really interesting. But I'd love to see where it's at, especially after the Ryder Cup.
Oh, we
Do you
will.
think Golf Gaming Club will ever bring any events over to Austin?
I really hope so, mostly
Yeah.
because there's a couple people that have moved down here to Texas now that are in the golf
Okay.
gaming club, and one of the like one of the originators, Devin, he's like one of the original five that kind of started it, and he moved down
And
here
he
with
moved
his wife.
here.
Yeah, he's in Austin, and
Okay.
so they
Okay.
live downtown, and that just happened like a month ago. But every time
Gotcha.
somebody from the gaming club comes down, the first thing I do is I go, "Let's go play Butler," and then that's what
Yeah.
gets them
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
like be like, "Man, I could play this every day."
Oh, for
I
sure.
love it though. If they could swing a deal, I have a feeling that they'd probably get a better chance of setting up a tournament in Dallas, just because there's
Mm.
more
There's more to choose
courses, and
from.
maybe they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe more
Because
public courses too. But San Antonio and Austin aren't too far away from each other. And San Antonio's got some really good public golf. Like their whole
yeah,
public golf system is really nice. A lot of historical courses. I mean, between the four public courses we have here, if Golf ATX would strike a deal with them, I mean, there's more than enough to be able to do and keep it centered. Imagine doing like a Butler meetup like once every other week, and then have like a tournament once a month. Like that'd be perfect.
yeah, dude, I'd love to. I mean, if we're doing like a podcast right now at the same time, I got to
Yeah.
tell you about this place I played in Scotland. It's called the Kingarock Hickory. I don't know,
Okay.
but basically, it's a 9-hole course, just kind of like Butler, but it's on this like protected Scottish land, and you
Okay.
play. You have to play the entire course with 100-year-old hickory clubs.
No way.
Yeah,
Okay,
dude,
that's
it
cool.
was one of the coolest experiences, and it's all protected land. So, like on the sixth tee box, I'm sitting there, and there's like a whole collection of sheep and a sheep herder like right next to me, just right there next, and then like the big hills and like there's like a big mansion on the corner, and it's just beautiful. And I know like Donnie that works at Butler, he's like the groundskeeper over there. I was like, dude, we got to get a
Yeah.
hickory tournament. If we can get some people to
Yeah.
donate
Well,
some hickory clubs, it'd be so fun.
yeah, I know a guy here in Austin who hosts a lot of great tournaments, and he's done Hickory events before. So I'm sure he has that on his list, and he's really like he's embedded with Muni culture and Butler. So I'm sure he's going to put something like that together. We should get on a team if that happens. That'd be cool.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome because
Yeah.
Butler, that's where I live, man. And I just started joining the social scramble. It's every two
Okay.
weeks you go there,
Okay.
and you're not allowed to play with somebody you know. The goal is
Oh,
to
okay.
just they
I like
put you
that.
with completely random people, and we did pretty good
That's
last
smart.
time. We did 2 under, and then the leader was 6 under. But it was like the guy that
Okay.
runs what is his brand? I forget the brand, sorry, but he was out there. I ran into Eric.
Eric
Andrews
out there
Lang
too.
out there. Not,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I met him out there, and he's a good
Nice.
dude, but he's busy. He's doing his big tour of
Yes.
America for the Random Golf
Yes.
Club.
Yeah.
It
In
looks
1 month,
awesome.
like hitting all these. Yeah, he's hitting like a bunch of cities in 1 month on the tour bus. That's such a cool idea. But
Yeah, I love that.
thanks for jumping on here, dude. We got obviously let's catch up while you're in town before you get out for the Ryder Cup.
Yeah,
Actually, I
dude.
might try to play tomorrow. I'm not sure what you're doing, but we'll see.
You,
We'll see.
I have no meetings on the docket tomorrow, so
Oh
you hit
yeah.
me up, and I'm
Okay.
always down.
I'm thinking maybe a Butler event, or maybe go out and play Terra Vista. But I'll hit you up. We'll do this. We need.
Terra
I
Vista
think we need
sounds
four.
great, but I'm always down for Butler.
Yeah, Butler would be fun. All right, man. Well, thanks for jumping on. We can find you
Of
at.
course.
Go ahead and like, plug it. Let's
Oh,
go
doing my
plug that.
promos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just started doing my own kind of golf channel. I'm just trying to figure out what it's going to be. But I think for now, whenever I was out in Ireland, I filmed a couple rounds while I played. I had a
That was
camera guy
awesome.
1 round. I filmed some other myself. I did one out at that Hickory course. I'm editing that right now.
Yeah.
But it's Munchies and Mulligans. Basically, we're
Okay.
just going to me figuring out golf for the most part. But like you, I'm majorly into food, and I know some people around town that are either just getting into golf or have been into it, and they're either chefs or run restaurants. And then there's some people out in LA as well that I'd love to just set up a format where we kind of do like a, not really like a hot ones, but almost like that, but with golf and food. So like they would kind of tell me, what do you want to eat in town? And I would take them to what I would say is like that best version of that when they're in town. And then we just go and kick it and kind of do a little interview. And so I think that's going to be the future, is what I want to do. But it should be fun. When you have like a normal job, you got trying to figure it out. And with my job, there was crazy 4 months of layoffs and craziness, but we survived. So now it's kind of, I can rebalance myself.
There you go. Yeah, cool, man. Well, thanks again for coming on.
Yeah, so who you got in this tournament, man? I was really hoping that Homa and Spieth were going to be in the same group, because those are two of my favorites, and I just would have loved that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pulling for Lucas Glover. He's been in the hunt, in the chase this year. I love that he's one of the older players, but still showing up, right? I mean,
yeah.
It's a course a lot of guys are getting after it. It's not super hard, but I mean the scores are low. He's just got a great swing. He's kind of got. I'd say Jon Rahm almost has his move rather than Glover has Jon Rahm's move. He's got the shorter swing. It's more compact. It's like extended through the ball. He gets really good side tilt. It's just really nice. If you look at the top 5 right now, we got Glover and Fleetwood. You got guys that know how to flight the golf ball. That's what's really big here. Homa as well. He's not a big drawer of the golf ball. These guys hit straight balls. Spieth. Almost every one of these guys can hit a straight golf ball. It's not about the guy that bends it the most, right? Just kind of keeping it in play. The rough is kind of tough out here.
Yeah, Tommy, I'm always kind of rooting for him because I want him to get his win on a PGA event, like really bad. And the British Open, or the Open, I guess, a couple weeks ago, it was a tough final day. I mean, it was a good watch, but I'm always kind of rooting for him. But Spieth's a local boy. He grew up in Dallas. That's where I grew up. Yes. I remember kind of watching him. He's probably like 3 or 4 years younger than me. So I was like always kind of heard about him when he was 13. You hear about guys like that.
And he used to play around Clay and Kaiser all the time too.
Yeah, I feel like guys like that. You hear about them, like people on the tour, you hear about them when they're like 13. There's not many guys that just kind of pop up out of nowhere. Like Homa's kind of one of those guys actually, where I didn't know much about him, and then his game came on strong in the last like 3 or 4 years, and because he's in his like early 30s, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Older guy. I mean, it's a good looking leaderboard right now. So Cantlay's coming around. Of course, he's probably playing a 7-hour round on his own ball, but we'll see how it goes with him. But thanks again, man. I'm going to bring in Just Divot here coming up in just a little bit. Munchies and Mulligans on Instagram, YouTube as well. And
YouTube, TikTok,
we got to do something together. So here's an idea, and I'll end it with this. We got to go play Mustang Creek together on a day. I think it's got to be Wednesday or later, because we could check out Louis Mueller's barbecue, who's the father of the lady who owns La Barbecue downtown in Austin, Texas. So we get to see where it's from. If we get there early enough, we'll get the beef rib, and that thing is, I think the young kids say bussin'. So that thing's really good.
Yeah, bussin'. Yeah, it's fire, as they say.
So we'll go play 9. We'll get a beef rib, and we'll call it a day at Taylor. Okay, cool. All right, so awesome. let's do that. All right, thanks again, man.
Cool. Are you bringing in Just Divot now?
Yeah, I'm going to bring in Just Divot. Yeah. Cool.
Where's my chat? I don't get to see the chat. Are people chatting?
I think so. Yeah, I got a little bit on my end. We got a moderator throwing some questions here. I'm going to answer some of these. First one going on here on Millions, so we'll see how it goes. But I think I can only bring in 2, one person at a time. So Munchies, if you want to, you can jump on the IG and we can share that on the IG. I'm going live on IG right now.
Either one, man. I'm happy to do
it. Yeah. Jump in on the IG and we'll keep going there.
Okay.
All right. I'll see ya.
See ya.
All right. Just Divot. Let me know when you are in, bud. Let's see where we're at. All right. Yeah. So questions here. We are looking at Oh, sorry. Gotta bring this back around. Okay. Let's see. Who's on my Mount Rushmore of professional golfers and why? Tiger Woods for sure. I'd have to bring it back to Ben Hogan. Tiger Woods, of course. I mean, one of the best golfers, if not the best golfer to ever play the game. He got me interested in the sport, got me wanting to do things in the sport, and got me to where I am right now. Ben Hogan, my dad read me the five fundamentals of golf, which was it's a thin book, but it's got Ben Hogan's fundamentals written from a writer's perspective. That got me more on the instructional path. Another golfer, let's say. Ooh, Seve Ballesteros. He was the Tiger Woods Tiger Woods is the Seve Ballesteros of America. Seve Ballesteros, big golfer in the 70s, 80s, 90s, rest his soul. One of the best golfers to come out of Spain. Such a creative player too. He was somebody who hit the ball far, but wasn't super accurate off the tee, which made him a really creative player. So I'd say those top three. What's up?
Oh, what's going on? Did I cut you off or anything, or what's going on?
No, you're good. You're good. We're talking about
right, cool.
golfers who would be on the Mount Rushmore, or so to speak, right? So I threw out Tiger Woods, Ben Hogan for me. Seve Ballesteros is another one. I'm trying to think of another who's like right off the top of my head. I like Miguel Angel Jimenez. Those two Spanish golfers right there. I love his swag, his style. I love how he stays true to himself. One of the few golfers that will drink like a small glass of sherry and do his stretches with a cigar in the morning. That's just like he's enjoying golf. And obviously with younger golfers out there now on tour, we see them. It's all about like the stretching and the performance aspect. Everyone's performance, it's catered to them, right? Everyone performs at a certain level, a certain way, a certain style. So some people it's in the gym for 2 hours. Some people it's having a glass of sherry and smoking a cigar. And if they still shoot under par, then they're still making money and they're still doing their job, which is trying to be the best out there. So who do you think? Who would be on your Mount Rushmore golf?
Well, Hogan and Tiger's a good start. I like kind of going against the grain with Seve and Miguel Angel there. Let's see. Obviously, I would probably have to put Jack. I mean, don't really see a reason to not put him in there.
Sure.
So Tiger, Jack, Hogan, and let's go Arnold. So that's probably my four right there. I'd probably go Arnold Palmer, Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, and Ben Hogan.
Nice.
Right
nice.
So
I like that. What have you been up to, man? Definitely. Thanks for jumping on this with me.
Dude, nothing. I'll tell you what, though, man. I haven't done anything golf-related in about 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of typical for me anyways to, like, not swing a golf club regularly to begin with, but just with everything professionally, personally, moving has taken a toll on me mentally and physically. I'm not even done yet. Like, we're supposed to move out of our apartment. Like, today's the final day, but I had to call leasing and be like, hey, we kind of have to push this back till tomorrow. So I got the St. Jude's on. I haven't watched a second of coverage, which is sad to say, but delighted to see Lucas Glover's trying to, go back to back here, right? He won last week, if I'm
yes,
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, let me double check again.
Yes. So he's trying to get this playoff event here. Pleased to see guys like Fleetwood, Homa, and Spieth in there. Really, if I were to pull for somebody, though, it'd probably be Fleetwood right now.
Fleetwood's. I love his swing, man. I love his swing.
He's top five for me as far as swing wise in the modern era. Right now, for people who are active, probably.
Yeah.
It's Tommy up there for me for sure. Could probably say him. Rory, obviously, Colin Morikawa.
Dude, Lucas, so just going back to Lucas Glover, he went 66, 64, 62, 68. That's unreal. It's 20 under. He went 20 under twice this year. I mean, the past four tournaments, the past 6 tournaments he's played, he went 21 under, tied for 4th, 21 under for 4 days. Imagine that, dude. Going 69, 69, 64, 65, and coming in 4th. But still taking home $370,000. That's not bad. And then
it kind of reminds me of like Lucas Glover, like his recent success just right now going on this week and then last week. During the start of the pandemic, there was another guy, another major winner who he was a little bit older who was winning, and that was Stuart Sink.
Yeah. Oh
He had
yeah.
his son
Yeah.
on the
Stuart Sink
bag,
for sure.
and I remember,
Stewie Sink.
I remember,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember he won like 2 tournaments in 2020. Like he won,
Yeah.
I think the RBC Heritage. He won
Oh, for
that,
sure.
and it was like, whoa, look at Stuart Sink go, man! Like, a little bit up there in age, in his 40s, and rattling off wins, and it's kind of something
Yeah.
unexpected when he
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
won that Open however many years ago.
I got a question here from a viewer. Alex says, "How do you feel about the role Lacoste has played in shaping the fashion culture of golf over the years?" That's a good question, and we brought in a great guest here to help answer that as well. Just of it, you stay up to date on Hype Golf, Hype Beast, like trying to see what different brands are doing right now, and I feel like I'm a big classic look guy. I like the looks from the 70s, the 80s. I got the vintage Lacoste going on right now, the Izod Lacoste. Um, I love I just love seeing some of these older brands come back out there and start to like reshape or allow culture to kind of shift how they look at golf and how they look at fashion. Um, Lacoste is definitely like honestly one of the brands that I feel I would love to rock more on the golf course, especially when I'm playing or teaching. It's classic. I definitely someone that goes for the wingtip leather shoes. It's got to be white belt pants, and then have like a nice drop, button down polo that goes kind of halfway down the shirt, and the stiff collar. That's my look. I love the fact that Lacoste went from tennis to golf. It's obviously a country club brand with those two sports that they're going with. They've been around for, I think, just over 90 years now, starting in tennis with Rene Lacoste, the famous crocodile of the tennis court, moving back and forth. Sponsoring great European golfers. You see Lacoste more in Europe rather than the US for golf. You see a lot of European Tour or DP World Tour players sporting Lacoste. When I was playing on the Alps Tour in Europe, I played with the son of Raphael Jacquelin, Hugo. And Raphael Jacquelin is one of the top French golfers to play. And obviously Lacoste being a French brand, they sponsored the crap out of him. And they made really good stuff. They have really high quality materials. I feel like they fit well. Of course, like it's its own style, right? It's more fitted. It's more the Euro look. It's a little different from what's out there right now, at least in the US. What's your take on it, Just of it? I like it.
Yeah,
It's a
definitely.
for sure.
If you were to dig into like my high school picture archives, that's like pretty much predominantly what I'm wearing. I had a white, I had a black, I had a blue, I had a long sleeve, I had like a lime green, I had the hats to match. The reason why I got into it, it's kind of like a typical Filipino stereotype. It's either Ralph or that, right? Like you see old dads wearing either that or Ralph. So back in the day, for those who don't know, I was primarily a tennis player first, and I would still consider myself better at tennis than I am at golf. So I don't know about now, since I haven't played in about a full year. It's like the first time in my life where I haven't picked up my racket to play in about a full year. So who knows? But the first person who I saw that truly made an impact wearing that brand was Andy Roddick. So if you grew up playing tennis in the early 2000s, that was who you wanted to be. You idolized Andy Roddick. So after he left Reebok back in, I want to say 05, he left Reebok around 05. He signed an apparel deal with Lacoste. So that's what I was wearing. I wanted to be just like Andy Roddick. I bought the same racket.
You play both sports, right? So like seeing Andy Roddick pick up Lacoste for tennis, that probably got you thinking, why not wear this on the golf course? Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Pretty much, and that's what I wore. Yeah, go ahead.
On IG, we have Tim Walsh, one of my students, virtual students, actually came in to see me in Austin. He's from Nashville. He's actually out there at the FedEx St. Jude Championship right now. Tim, who are you following currently right now?
I'm not following anybody. I was sitting at the 11th green, which is a par 3, beautiful island green par 3. So you'll watch people on it. Beautiful.
What's the vibe out there right now?
This is the approach fairway.
Okay.
For 9.
Okay.
So we're at 9 right now. You can see behind me, we got 9 green.
Okay, he's on 9.
So you have to see who's on 9. They're in the fairway right now. I can't read short-looking name, so I'm not sure.
There's a short-looking name right now on the standard bear. Tim, what's the vibe out there right now? How's it feel being out there at the tournament? Is it lively?
Well, it's awesome to be here.
Chilling?
Like, it really is awesome. They've made it a spectacle, and obviously you have the FedEx St. Jude, so everything is branded FedEx St. Jude.
Okay.
So like all the hats, all the merch and stuff, like
they branded it well.
Titleist hats mostly. It's FedEx St. Jude type hats, and so you get a lot of on-brand stuff that way.
Yeah. Who's been your favorite golfer so far to follow out there or just kind of watch live?
So I started with the Kuchar-Buckner pairing. Like, that's what I followed for a few holes.
Okay.
I followed Jason Day for a few holes.
Okay.
I just walked past the Schauffele group not long ago. They got a pro shot coming in.
Yo, Xander. Just Divot knows about Xander. He played with him out there in Southern California.
Whoever that was that approach, they're off the right side right now. They're going to have to get up and down.
Okay, there's the commentary. Someone who just hit their approach shot is on the right side. They have to get up and down.
You have to look on the leaderboard.
I like it.
And then I love it. I'll get the names.
Heck yeah. Do a shout out.
There's only so many PXG guys.
Oh, it's a PXG guy
here. So
who could that be?
So PXG guys gonna be hitting shortly. It's not Damon. So
not Damon. Is the guy from UF? I'm trying to think his name again. Dang. Who else is on PXG? Is Zach Johnson out there playing out there? Not sure. I know he's PXG. PXG's been picking up a lot of people lately. Let's see.
So he's getting ready to go here.
Okay. Oh, I see him. Dude, this is, love the pre-shot routine that we're looking at. I'm waiting to see if Hulu kicks me back into the hole that you're playing or that you're on. No, I don't see it yet. Man, this guy's taking his time. Feels like it can't lay. No, that could be is that not a Jordan Spieth preset?
That's a PXG.
Oh, that's a PXG guy. No, that's PXG. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, Tim.
Okay, he's right up by the pin there.
Oh, okay. He's right up by the pin. Hitting the rough. He's right by the pin. PXG's win. Sounds like they got good clubs to get him up and down. Tim, thanks for joining in. Give him a shout out. Just let them know. Let them know they're on IG Live right now.
You guys are on IG Live. You didn't realize.
You guys had no idea.
CBS went enough. You're also on Instagram.
Yes. Let them know we said hey.
We're gonna get a cease and desist.
Bears coming by here. It looks like is it Todd and Cole? The Todd and Cole pairing.
The Todd and Cole. Oh, yeah, the Brendan Todd and the Mr. Cole pairing. Gotcha. There it is.
Yeah.
Gotta love the volunteers there doing the job, getting them free rounds of golf in after the tournament. There it is. Love it.
Weather's coming in, so I'm gonna let you guys
go. But thanks, Tim. Appreciate you coming in on it. On course correspondent Tim Walsh. Thank you very much for bringing that to us, Tim. All right. We'll see you later. I'll fly you out to the next one. Bye.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perfect.
All right.
I saw Rory just birdie too.
Okay.
So
I just see that now. Who was it? Someone dunked it in.
It was Sam Burns.
It was Burns. Burns dunked. That's right. That's
Sam Burns.
That's
Sam Burns.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
Nuts,
Sam Burns.
Dude. So. Number one seems to be the most birdied. It's got to be the most birdied hole out there this week. Just everyone was stuffing it out there yesterday. It just seemed like it was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
That was like one of the
questions coming in here.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's see. So sorry, I cut you off last time. You were talking about Andy Roddick getting you into Lacoste. You're a tennis player. You bring that into your golf, and then what from there? So did you start thinking like this could be a brand that people should be starting to wear more on the golf course? Like what did you see from that?
Well, to be honest, just wearing any sort of like country clubby polo, I think transitioned well into both sports. So when I would play, if I were to play golf, that was like one of the only polos I had. So I would wear it in tennis, I would wear it in golf, and then whatever Nike tennis polos I had, I would still wear to golf too. So they were like multi-function in a sense, even though they were kind of made for two different sports. That's pretty much how I transitioned from both tennis and golf, was wearing whatever clothes I had for tennis, I would just wear them on the course. So that's pretty much as far as an apparel sense. But yeah, Andy really got me into it and made me just, get hats, get, whatever I could get my hands on from just a clothing perspective. And then it was predominantly French players, obviously, since it's a French brand, right? So the next prominent player to sign a deal was Novak Djokovic. So once Djokovic, I believe he won a few majors wearing Lacoste. He went to after he left Adidas, he didn't go straight to Lacoste. He went to somewhere. I think he went to Sergio Tacchini, and then once he left Sergio Tacchini, then he went to Lacoste, and after Lacoste, then he went to somewhere else before he went to Uniqlo.
Look at you, man!
And I
get the history. Yeah,
so I believe he went.
That's great.
Yeah, was it Diadora? I don't think it was Diadora, but I think he went full plunge into Uniqlo, and then had that full apparel deal with them. And I'm not too sure. He might still be with them. I'm blanking on who he's with now. It could still be them, to be honest. But yeah, those were the two guys in this era who were predominantly wearing Lacoste, was Andy Roddick and Novak Djokovic. But from a golf sense, definitely would like to see it more. I think it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's fallen off, but for lack of a better term, then yeah, I would say that it's fallen off.
It's just like, they haven't been pushing too much here. I'll get a lot of their stuff. I might like a couple things on Instagram, so I start seeing more and more of it. But they're not pushing as heavily as some of the other brands out here, right? They're not getting involved in like hype golf events, like stuff like that would get their name out there. They could easily be up there, with all the other brands like the Bonds, or whatnot. For sure. So. But yeah, they definitely have a big stake in Europe for their sports and tennis and golf for sure. And I don't know. I think they can do a really big push here. So
they're definitely a legacy brand. Yeah, but yeah, go ahead with your question.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we have? Okay. So this is more on me here. How's your experience on MasterChef influence your diet or nutrition in relation to golf training? That's something that I'm actually planning to start to push more on my personal Instagram page, Just Biondi Official, as well as bring that into Beyond Golf Performance and bring that into Beyond Golf Talk as well. Just talking about food, how we eat, how we treat our body, what are we looking for when we want to play at peak performance. Obviously, that could be geared for a lot of those players who are looking to really get into that zone. For most of the amateurs out there, golf is a way to just kind of like, I guess, just kind of kick it and kind of be with their friends and have a day to kind of decompress. But that doesn't mean we need to get ourselves so far off track of what we should be doing. Coming from a coaching standpoint, for sure, I'm looking at what kind of carbs, what kind of sugars, what kind of complex carbs we're putting in the body. Where's our protein source coming in from? We don't want to necessarily get stuck at the turn and not have anything in your bag and have to, chew down that hot dog. And then all of a sudden 3 holes later, like you've peaked and now you're dead, and not going to say a turn dog is bad at all. Cause there's some tasty ones out there, but at the same time, it's like, it's not good if you're trying to play as a professional golfer or you're trying to play to win your club championship or try to win your high school golf tournament. You really have to really look at your nutrition, and see how you start your day. Some people go into golf tournaments and they say, okay, I got my tournament on Thursday. On Wednesday, I got to go to the gym. I got to really look at what I'm eating. But knowing that if there are those people on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday who just eat poorly anyway, if you're just going to do something that's totally not what you do in your normal life, it's not going to bode well when you play under pressure for golf, right? So it's always good. It's always smart to be who you are off the course, on the golf course as well. And if who we are off the golf course is not very, not looking too much into nutrition and is not treating yourself or your body very well, then maybe there's something else that we have to look into a little bit more. But it's always good to bring who you are off the course on the course, because it's really hard to separate that. And you shouldn't have to separate it. You should try to bring that same person in, and work on yourself through golf, right? Now, what do you like to eat when you're on the course, Matt? What's your go-to snack?
I like a snack. Usually, so we go to Costco. They got these like really good. They got this really good bag of. Shout out to Costco. They got this really good bag of. Was it pork jerky? But it's like Korean barbecue.
Yeah,
flavor. That's really good.
Yeah.
Jerky's
great.
Let's see. What else? What else? A nice breakfast burrito.
Like Thank you so much, Ma. Appreciate. We got a tip. We got a tip. I didn't know we can even tip on here. All right, go ahead.
Oh, you could tip? Wow, congratulations, man! Your first tip. Look at
That's
that.
Great. So you got the beef jerky. Oh, by the way, I'm watching Hulu on Hulu Live right now. Eric Compton promoting Encore Golf is on the golf commercial. Shout out to Encore Golf. Wow. Great golf ball, direct-to-consumer golf ball, quality product. Probably one of the more, sorry to sidetrack here, probably one of the more versatile and durable golf balls that I've played. I've played their 2-piece in tournaments. I've played their 3-piece in tournaments. I've played their 4-piece. Haven't played their second generation 4-piece, but a great golf ball nonetheless. Love the Pro V1s. Love the Callaway Chrome Softs. Encore, if you're looking for a budget-friendly, consumer-friendly product, Encore Golf is a great one. To talk about golf club sponsors, I love the Callaway Paradigm driver. Have been playing that now since they sent it to me a few weeks ago. I've always played a Callaway driver. I've always had a Maverick Sub-Zero. Totally different feel. So much more forgiveness. It's softer off the face with the forged face. And I definitely do feel like I get a lot more carry off the new driver than before. I used to think, it's kind of true. You could probably attest to this as well. If you go to driver technology over the past 5 years, it hasn't changed too much, but there is something about how they make the driver. Like maybe the technology hasn't changed, but where they put the weight in the driver, how the driver is shaped, the different weights they put in the driver as well. There's things that they can change to it that will still help the average golfer as well as better golfers like you and I, right? I think so. Have you?
I'm not a better golfer, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, I played with you, man. You hit the ball well. Honestly, you're a good golfer. I would definitely put you in the
pause there. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I can hit the ball just fine, but
yeah. I've seen it swing. We've been working on that. Yeah. Let's see. What's what's our drink of choice when we're not in training or hanging with friends? Alex been on a Bacardi kick lately. Asking if we're fans of Bacardi. It's always so smooth. Who doesn't like a Cuba Libre? Who doesn't enjoy a day on the beach out in the sun with a rum and coke and a little squirt of lime, right? I mean, it's a good relaxing drink. I'm a rum fan. I don't know about you. What are you, Matt?
Been on a whiskey kick lately. That's something I've been trying to really, really get into. Starting last year, one of my good friends just kind of introduced me into the broad world of whiskey, and I've been a consumer ever since. So
whiskey, bourbon. You a bourbon guy too?
Yeah, it depends. Just whatever's in front of me is, as far as brands are concerned, I've been on Elijah Craig. I've been drinking a lot of Elijah Craig. That's kind of like my go-to bottle because, medium priced, not too, it's not gonna cut your wallet in half.
If I were to suggest one thing for you to try, I think, as a whiskey drinker, maybe getting into bourbon, I really like Four Roses. They're small batch.
Yeah, Four Roses. Yep, I like it.
Especially that
always
one,
sold out though. You can't. The small batch of the Four Roses. You can never find it anywhere. I swear. That was one of the first recommendations I got, but it's kind of rare. If you see it, I've been told that advice that's been given to me is if you see it on the shelf, do not hesitate, pick it up and buy it. Just don't even hesitate because you're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to see it. You're not going to be able to see it again. Apparently, so that's kind of where I'm at with that.
So I work at a golf course called Balcones Country Club. We have the Balcones Fault that runs through Austin. You lived in Round Rock, you know where we're at. When I went to Monterey to work at Pebble Beach for the golf event, they hired us to teach at one of these private events there. We were at a house overlooking the 14th hole. When we went downtown in Monterey, just to the local, they had like a really cool local beer garden type of restaurant. Right across the street from it is a place called, I think it's called the Whiskey Room, the tasting room. They had one of their best sellers was actually a whiskey that's distilled in Austin called Balcones. Oh, wow. I think it was called Balcones whiskey. I have to double check the name of it, but they said it was one of their highest selling or best selling whiskeys and bourbons that they carried. Out of all the stuff that they had, man, this place was filled like wall to wall, floor to ceiling with just all these amazing bottles. We're talking, Pappy Van Winkle, 10, 20, 30 year aged, and that was what they sold the most of. So it was really cool to see that.
That's crazy. What a coincidence, that's before you even started working there too. And next thing you know,
that's for sure.
It was a sign from God.
Let's see. Okay. That's a good question here. So balance is key in an athlete's lifestyle. How do I personally incorporate or balance the occasional beer with a strict dietary training regimen? Do you ever have Foster's? What are your thoughts on their beer? I'm drinking one right now. Okay. You're
I've never
not a huge beer guy. I don't mind it. If anything, it's a light beer, nothing too hoppy. We don't want too much of that because it could totally it'd bloat you up, man. Beer you definitely can, but if it's something light, it's not bad. It's refreshing. The Mick Ultras, the Miller Lights, like the occasional beer there is fine. How do you incorporate that in your training? Well, I mean, you could have a cheat day, you could have an off day, especially when you're talking about a professional golfer. Cameron Smith comes to mind when he talks about how he just kind of do these like cookouts back home in Florida. He invite all the pro golfers that live on the intercoastal with him, and they'll sit back and have a beer, but knowing that the next day is training day, knowing that you're going to be putting in extra work in the gym, working out extra hard on the golf course, sweating it all out. Whatever you put in your body is going to come back out somehow. So just kind of being aware of what you are putting in your body, how you're doing it, how much you're having, everything in moderation, right? So not overdoing it because it just can kill you the next day, or you could feel it the next few days. I'm sure you've had some of those days before where you might go out a little bit hard with the boys, and next day's round of golf at 7 a.m. and you're like, what am I doing here? And you're sweating profusely, you feel those high lies, or you feel the bourbon or the whiskey coming out of your pores, and hands are sweaty. You don't want to have those days all the time.
Usually in the morning, if I don't eat anything and I just drink coffee, that usually gets me in trouble too. I have to have like something on my stomach, like you said, like even having a Cliff Bar. If I have a snack, it's really important that I try to get something in. I like going to Starbucks too and getting like those sous vide egg bites.
Oh yeah, dude,
those are good. Yeah, so I get a couple. I get a couple egg bites, and then that will have me good for the duration of the round. If I just drink straight coffee, I get jittery, I get dehydrated, and I just don't perform as well. And I start blaming. It. I'm like, I don't want to blame the coffee. I want to blame myself for these bad shots. I want to hold myself accountable. But it's really, that was like one of the first instances where, I mean, when you're younger, when you're a teenager, even a more strenuous sport like tennis where I'm going back and forth and up and down, I could get away with kind of not eating, as a youth. And then once you get older, you're like, you know what? I kind of need this energy. I kind of want,
life hits you, man. Life hits you sooner than later, and you don't know it, and then you're out there playing, and you're a whole 14 or 15, and you're like, man, am I done yet? Like, I don't get it. I'm just gassed. And you don't think about it when you're playing. When you're playing, and you're playing well, especially. That's how I feel. Like, I just want to keep playing. I don't want anything to get in my way. I don't even think about eating or drinking sometimes, and that could be, could be why you'd have some bad holes, and that definitely pops up. You're not as focused. You don't go through your routine as well. I like to use golf as a way to kind of practice what I want to see in the real life. I like to use golf as a way to practice like mental awareness and kind of understanding, where you are, and breathing techniques and all this stuff to kind of reduce your stress that you get in everyday life. So it's hard for me. I'm not someone that likes to drink heavily on the golf course. And we had a comment here from Deborah Smith. She said a podcast she listens to says that a recent study showed on average golfers drink 14 beers in 18 holes on average. And imagine that in Texas, 103 degrees right now. It hasn't been under three digits at the peak in like months. Drinking that many beers on a golf course, you'll pass out. You'll have to get a rain check because you'll hit hole 11 and you won't be able to play golf anymore. It's just a lot. It's a lot, and I can't.
The only exception is if you're John Daly. If you're John Daly, then you can go. You're pretty much.
If you're John Daly out there. Yeah, you're Thanos. You're smoking 3 packs of cigarettes, having 7 Diet Cokes, and then you're also drinking all that beer. You're using beers as golf tees. That's how many golf tees you have in your bag is how many beer cans he has in his bag, because those are his golf tees. Pretty much it. We talk about a process. You talk about pro golfers and what their process is. That's his process, right? And he's a championship winner, a major winner. That's his process. That's what he's known and trusted. Not condoning it, but know your process and see if that is the best way for you to be enjoying golf at a higher level. And the more I'm sure you've met this, you meet golfers that are getting into the sport and they're having fun, they're enjoying it. And it might take a year or two, but then they'll be like, I really want to get better at this. I'm shooting in the 90s. I want to shoot in the 80s. Now I want to break 80. Then they start seeing like, hey man, if I want to get better at this sport, if I want to be better in general, I can't do all these things I used to do when I was playing in the 90s and 100s. Like I can't be chugging beers on every hole. I can't be eating like this. I can't treat my body the way I'm treating it. And and we're seeing a lot of those golfers in transition too. So we get a lot of new faces that are in. They're like, I played a lot with my friends, and some of them are actually really trying to get better. They're eating better. They're working out more, and more of the younger students that we'll see at the Balcones Golf Academy are people that are so interested in how the fitness works its way into golf, and how understanding how your body works affects how you can be practicing or swinging. Because you can go to any, like, let's be real. You find a local golf coach, they'll tell you to keep your head down, or just open your body up more, swing more left. Like you can get those tips anywhere, but if you don't know what your body's doing, where your strong points are, where your weaknesses are, it's really hard to know how, like, your plan really for your swing drills. I'm not going to give you a drill, Matt, if I know that maybe your hip flexors are tight. I would give you a stretching plan first and say, okay, this is what we're working towards. This drill probably isn't the best drill for you right now. Let's work on something that will help you out, So that's what we'll see. I see an uptrend in health and wellness, in fitness with our generations, especially, and generations coming after us, and trying to be better and bettering themselves. A lot of self-help. So which is really cool. I love seeing that. But we're going to talk we're going to talk a lot more about this in our upcoming podcast. We're going to be meeting up hopefully this week, right, Matthew? To try to get on another pod for Beyond Golf Talk. We're kicking it back off. We're going to get at least a couple of these pumped out a month. Just want to say thank you to Millions for allowing us on. One quick question from Alec. What do you think separates a good golfer from a great one?
Sorry, don't mean to cut you off. I actually have to hop off, but it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me on, and then we'll collaborate later, all right?
Definitely. All right, we'll see you this week.
All right, thanks, man.
Cool. Bye. All right, Alec, what do you think separates a good golfer from a great one? Honestly, let's say good golfer is a 70 shooter. A great golfer is a sub 70 shooter. When you're trying to go from an elite level to a even more elite level, it's everything that happens here. Your skill level can be good. Whatever got you to shooting the score that you're at now, probably won't change too much of that. Probably just polishing up technique. If you want to be a great golfer, it's about how you handle pressure. It's about, can you close? Look at Tiger Woods. In his peak years, he was winning 1 out of every 3 events, and it was like 3 or 4 years in a row in the early 2000s. That's because he was so mentally strong. Pro golfers who used to win a lot would show up to the tournament telling themselves, wow, I'm playing for second place today. And when you can do that to your opponent, you got this like confident aura around you. You're going to be winning. Like, how can you not stay on that high of high level of performance where you're just putting fear into the hearts of all these other golfers, knowing that they're not even going to touch or sniff first place or even get close to you. So yes, it's very mental, I'd say. Alex, for last question here, what is the most important warm-up or workout before you hit the golf course? So if you'd like to know more about different warm-up circuits or training or golf workouts, I call it a lifestyle workout, because we use the same muscle groups to protect our back, our lower body, our core, working on posture. So golf workouts are great for everyday workouts. It's all rotational and core based and lower body and leg driven. So on my Instagram, on YouTube, I have a lot of great videos. Coach Dawson, one of our assistants at the academy, has been pumping out a lot of great content. I'm sharing that on Beyond Golf Performance on Instagram. Also some great golf tips in general, mental tips. Watch our golf vlogs that we have on YouTube. It's all at Beyond Golf Performance. You can go to beyondgolfperformance.com as well if you want to stay up to date with me. Millions, thank you again for having me on for this hour during the FedEx St. Jude Championship. I hope to do this again really soon. Thank you all for being the first viewers and watchers of the live stream. We'll get this thing up and running real soon. Thanks again, everyone. Have a good rest of your weekend.